What is the best nation to grind first inside a World of Tanks Blitz? So stick around guys, because in today's video I'm going to be telling you the top 5 best nations to grind in World of Tanks Blitz. So we're going to start off by rank guys, so I'm going to be doing the what comes first, and then obviously the last nation is not as strong, but it's still one of the strongest lines in this game. So starting off with the Polish with their TP line, this is potentially one of the most strongest lines in the game. Now, this is one of the most newest as well, but the tier 10 is completely broken. And I'm going to be talking about the pros and cons because I do want to make this video quite short. So let's talk about the pros and the cons. So with the Polish, you have one of the best guns in the tech tree out of all the tech tree tanks. So you've got one of the best guns, and you've also got a really effective armor profile, probably one of the most effective actually, and very noob friendly as well. So you've got really good armor profile, really good gun mobility as well is pretty decent as well. So you're not really facing any really downsides except maybe the side armor is not the best. So I mean, even the fact is the side armor is not really a downside. That's just a factor. So I would definitely recommend a TP line for the newbie players that are just starting the game. Now we're going to be going to the American nation and talk about the Yos. Now the Yos as well, coming at the number, I think it's number 2. The Yos are very, can be regarded as overpowered with their guns, especially the tier 10. The tier 9 and the tier 10 share both same gun. I think it's is this the 2-shell autoloader? Let's check. Yeah, the 2-shell autoloader. Now you do have to, you actually do have to spend a bit of EXP to get this gun, but do not panic because it's one of the most strongest guns in the game, so you're not really losing anything. I mean, you can dish out 900 damage in just, what, 2 seconds. Like, 2 seconds, boom, 900 damage gone. That's how broken this gun is. So, you dish out 900 damage in 2 seconds, that's all. So, definitely the Yo is one of the most effective lines with their guns, and the arm profile as well is really good. However, the side armor is not as good as well, but the pros and the cons is really good hold down capabilities, better than the TP line. You've got a better gun in my opinion as well, and the mobility as well can be good. However, the side armor is one of the worst. So that's going to be it for the American Yos. I think we're going to go to the Russian line now and talk about the IS-7 line. So this is going to be number 3. Not as effective as the TP line, but however, you do have that really good armor profile, a very newbie-friendly tank, which is the IS-7. Going to the IS-3 and the IS and the KB-1S, they maybe not be as effective for their tiers, however, there still are decent tanks. I mean, for example, the IS-3, it's got a really good turret armor. You will not be able to get penetrated at all in tier 8 because that turret armor is simply impenetrable. So you do have a good turret armor for the IS-3. I mean, all the tanks, all the IS tanks are very strong, don't get me wrong. It's just that the premium, they are premium tanks in the tier that do outmatch them. But the IS-7, I think, does stand out in the line, and I do think it makes the whole grind worth it because the IS-7 is regarded to be overpowered, and trust me, I do believe in that. So that's going to be it for the IS-7. Now, you will notice that majority of these tanks I've chosen are heavy tanks. So what TDs could I recommend you, or what medium tanks could I recommend you? So I'm going to be talking about with the, going to stick to Russia, I'm going to be talking about the T62A line. Possibly one of the best mediums in the game. Now, this is a medium line, so do not expect to be the most noob friendly because the whole armor is not the best. And what really does shine out this T62A line is that you've got one of the best turret armors. So you start off with the T26, obviously, and you start, then you end at the T62A. So you go from T34 to the T54, and then it goes to T62A. I think this is the most effective medium tanks in the game. T62A is that powerful, it can grind, it can actually go against the T22 medium, because you have such a good turret armor, possibly better turret armor than the T22 medium, but you do have a really good turret armor, very strong turret armor, so that's the best factor about the T62, and it can go against the very strong T22 medium. So these tanks in hold down position, you really want to abuse that, because then you'll majority of the games win the majority of your games. However, the pros and the cons of this T62A line is that you've got not one of the best hull armors. However, one of the turret armors, you're literally a heavy tank, a mobile heavy tank. So that's what you are, and that's what makes you pretty overpowered on the battlefield. So now we're going to be ending it off with what tank would I recommend you guys to get? You know what? It's great. We'll go for the VK Tiger 1 line. So you start off with the VK3601H. And then you end off with the E100. Now, you do have a choice between the mouse and the E100. Now, you're probably going to be asking, well, why is the mouse not as good as the E100 line? Well, I'm going to be telling you right here. The Tiger line has more mobility, potentially more armor as well. I mean, because there's not as many weak spots. So for the armor, I would still go for the Tiger line, simply because the Tiger 2 is very, very strong for its armor profile. Just like the E75 and just like the E100, these tanks really do shine with their armor profile. Not as much as the E100, but it's still a very strong armor. So the VK36, which you do start off with the tier 6, so that's when you grind for the E100, is a very strong tank. Now I'm going to be telling you about the pros and the cons of this line. You've got really good armor profile, really good guns, and a decent mobility. So yeah, but obviously the best line I would all recommend you is the TP line. So yeah, that's the nation you really want to grind for, and that's the best nation in the game so far. So yeah, guys, thank you all for watching, and I'm going to be seeing you for another video. And if you want to join the channel, subscribe, guys, and you will not be able to miss any sort of videos, leaks, or live streams I do in the future to come. So thank you all, guys, for watching. Take care. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.